Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Cancer energies today and we'll see what we get through. I don't know if there's something going on for you where you're resistant to using your intuition at this time, which is an odd thing to pick up on for Cancer because you're normally really good at using your intuition. So I don't know if there's something that you're trying to avoid there, like maybe trying to avoid feeling something or trying to avoid uh, like tapping into your usual source of information. So you feel like you're a little bit confused, or you feel like you're trying to be a little bit more analytical in almost like that Virgo, Libra, kind of Gemini kind of way. Because I'm actually getting like signs and symbols. So I was getting like an upside down, what looked to me like an upside down music note. I don't know what the word for that would be or anything. I'm not very musical. And a lot of question marks. So I found myself doing a lot of question marks on my notes. So I don't know if it's like you're trying to decipher something kind of code. Maybe you've got a code and you're trying to like, like they used to do in like old spy movies and things, or in real life if you were a spy. Or if you're just trying to interpret like signs and symbols from the universe. You may hear my son in the background chatting away. He's on his VR, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry for the background noise. Yeah, so you may be trying to like interpret signs and symbols, or trying to see messages from the universe, or even like making notes and trying to kind of like join in the dots. It's you just feel like you're trying to figure something out, like you're trying to piece something together or understand something that seems like it's some kind of code. I was getting Moonriver, the song from Breakfast at Tiffany's, so that could be meaningful to you. Maybe some of you, Breakfast at Tiffany's, maybe think of Tiffany's the shop, which is, of course, a jewellery shop. You buy diamonds from there, which made me think of Aries as reading because they had this thing about a diamond ring, so there could be some connection there with Aries. I was getting Huckleberry Friend, so Huckleberries could mean something to you. Is there like a dog that's called Huckleberry? I don't know. Again, it's this thing about like, I don't know what it means. Like, what does this mean? I don't know what this means. Seems to be the energy that's coming through. Um, Audrey Hepburn as well. There was something about it that was coming through with strong Virgo energy. Now, Audrey Hepburn is not a Virgo, she's a Taurus, but I kept on getting pulled back to Virgo energy. In fact, I even just mentioned Virgos without even thinking about it. So there's a strong Virgo energy trying to come into your reading. So I don't know if this is I don't know if there's somebody who's like a nana or like a grandma or an older mother figure for you who's trying to come through. Maybe Audrey Hepburn kind of reminds you of them in some sort of way. That kind of old-fashioned glamour is kind of coming through really strongly with Virgo energy, because there's something about it that's connecting to my nana who was a Virgo, but it's coming through with Audrey Hepburn. So I don't know quite what that means, but Virgo coming through really, really strongly. In fact, I've got like 3 arrows and a question mark pointing to Virgo. So again, this thing about like signs and symbols. There could be something about tattoos. Somebody could have those kind of, like the graphic, like cartoony style tattoos. You could be trying to understand what somebody's tattoos mean. You could be into graphic design or illustration, or be considering, I don't know, doing a course or a career in this. Some of you may be off to university or just considering doing some kind of course. I was kind of getting this, like, what do I do next? Like trying to figure it out energy. The song that randomized for you on Spotify was Older by Alec Benjimin. The name Benjamin has come through twice this week now, so somebody could be called Benjamin or Ben. They're telling me Benjamin Franklin, so it could be something to do with money. I think Benjamin Franklin was like a president who was on money, right? I don't know. And the song says, I'm not ready to get older. So it's like taking the posters down off my wall, realizing I've got to get a job, saying goodbye to my high school friends. So there could be something like this going on for you, or somebody that this could be your own kids. It's that time of the year when the kids are starting to break up from school. So some of you may have a child who's leaving high school. They don't know what to do. Yeah, look at that, walking away straight away. I didn't even ask a question and you've got walking away. Yeah, somebody's walking away from something, leaving something. Again, if it's not a school, it could be like a workplace, a friendship group. It could be that you're moving home, you could be traveling, but yeah, leaving something. And it's something that had emotions attached to it, I feel. So I don't know, you could be like leaving friends or family behind at that old place, or just having like that you a Cancerian, so of course you're going to be sentimental about things, like that nostalgia for the past, or nostalgia for the thing that's you're moving away from, like you've grown out of it, or it's just come to kind of like a natural end of that cycle. So again, like when you finish university or college or something like that, it's like it's come to a natural end. It's like you knew that this was ending, so now it's time to kind of go through that gate and go and explore what's out there. But I do feel like there's some kind of, because of the song that came through, I feel like there's some fear around that, some fear of the unknown, some fear of leaving the comfort zone, and going out and kind of like exploring that kind of wilderness. So maybe that's not for all of you, but it's definitely coming out very strongly. Anything else for Cancer, please? We're on Thursday. So you've got a change in the wind and yin. So go with the flow with whatever this is. I'm also noticing all the twos. You've got quite a few twos there. Go with the flow with whatever this is. It feels like there could be somebody else connected to you because of all those twos. Twos indicate a partnership of some kind. And because I was picking up on Huckleberry Friend, my heart's pounding suddenly. So it could be that you and a friend are going separate ways, but it feels more like you're doing something together. It's like a change being made, but you're going in a different direction together. So do take that as it resonates. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Yin is receptive energy. It's feminine, it's supportive, it's gentle, it's nurturing. It's not where the Chariot card, which is your energy, tends to be like, I'm seizing the reins, I'm taking action, I'm making the decisions. This feels more like being a passenger. It's kind of giving me that song, I am a passenger, and I ride and I ride, I ride through the city backsides, right? So maybe you are going on a car journey somewhere. I've been getting shotgun a lot as well, which is like, not like shotguns like, the traditional word, but when you call shotgun, it's like I'm going in the passenger seat. So that could definitely be something for you. It's been coming through off camera. Like I'm riding shotgun underneath the hot sun. So I don't know, you and somebody else kind of going off on a little adventure there. It seems a change though, with it being a zebra, there's something about authenticity, showing your true colors, standing out, being an individual. There could be a change in terms of your identity or the way you represent yourself in the world. Could be moving home. Definitely some kind of change, some kind of movement, leaving one thing behind to go towards something new. But again, there's this looking back energy. The zebra is looking backwards. Normally in tarot, this signifies the past, where this signifies the future. So if the zebra is looking back and she's kind of looking back over her shoulder, I think there is some reluctance to leave that comfort zone, that safety. There's a lot of pink as well I'm picking up on. We've got the blossom tree, the pink dress, and this very pink card here. What about the energy outside of Cancer, please? So this is kind of environmental, outside of you. It could be a person, place, or group. We'll see. Why? Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying I'm picking up on this questioning energy, and I've drawn so many question marks all over my paper. And you can see here these kind of like question marks floating around. So this thing about like symbols or symbolism seems to be really important. If you're walking away from something, if you're leaving something behind, again, my son's getting a bit loud back there. So again, apologies if that's bothering you at all, but not really, because he's having fun. So it is what it is. But yeah, this questioning, somebody could be saying, well, why are you leaving? So for example, if you were leaving a job, somebody may be saying, why are you leaving? Can we talk about this? What can I do to make you stay? Again, same about like if you were, I don't know, walking away from, I mean, there's so many things that you could be walking away from, and I'm sure you know what that is. So, but yeah, this is a questioning, like not understanding energies. Like I don't understand. There could be something where, because you are an intuitive sign, Cancer, and do flip and reverse this if it fits the other way for you, go ahead and flip and reverse it. But you are a very intuitive sign. You trust your intuition. You are very good at kind of reading the subtleties, like the undertones of social situations. Usually, I mean, it depends on your Mercury sign as well, but Cancer as an energy on its own tends to be very socially intuitive. So it's kind of like you may just have certain feelings, And because you're very good at picking up on the feelings of other people, you may expect other people to be able to do that too, right? It's like, you can do it, so why can't they do it? But not everybody's built the same. So you are kind of like Cancerian energy is kind of like the best at reading social situations and reading other people's emotions. They're the most like emotionally intuitive sign or energy, where you have others who are a little bit more stone-faced, a little bit more self-absorbed, or a little more just not good at handling their emotions. So you may be dealing with somebody who, while you feel like it's completely obvious, you feel like, you've made, they should be able to read your mood. They should know why you're upset. They may not know. They may be genuinely really confused about what's going on with you. So somebody has questions. I feel like an energy from some of you saying, yeah, indecision, they don't know what's happening. They don't understand what's going on. They're very, very confused. I'm getting an energy of some of you where it's almost like, not all of you, some of you, it's like last straw energy. It's like, this is not working out. They didn't care. I'm done. I'm going. I don't care if they're confused. If they're confused, let them wonder. Let them think. Let them watch. Let them watch me walk away. Kind of energy. So you've got a higher power of milk and honey there. I feel like that's kind of what you're being led towards. Yeah, I think some of you are just like, do you know what? If they're confused, they're confused, right? If they don't know, it could be like, well, do you know what? This is the reason why I'm leaving in the first place, because they never understood me. Indecision. This person could just be indecisive. You could be asking, like, why are they so indecisive? Like, you don't, it could be you don't understand them, they don't understand you. One is from Mars, one is from Venus, kind of thing. I don't know. Let's keep going. So what's your energy, please? What's Cancer's energy? There's too many. That's too many. I'm going to show you them. Just in case any of them are particularly symbolic for you. Butterfly, Gemini energy, Panther, Frog, and Dragonfly. But we'll go again because that's quite a lot. Unicorn on the bottom. Okay, the Panther. So this is divine feminine energy. It's incorporating your shadow. So the parts of ourselves that are really deep and hidden and natural, the kind of, our wild side, our wild nature, and that can come through in many different forms, right? A lot of the time people try and suppress this side of themselves, which is not a healthy thing to do. It's better to acknowledge our shadow and acknowledge what our shadow wants and needs, and incorporate it in a healthy way, right? That's not damaging. So it could be so many different things, but it's very intuitive as well. It's very, very almost magical energy that really suits you, Cancer, being this kind of old magic kind of sign. Again, that's not for everybody, and some people will not be comfortable with that. Just leave it if that's the case. But it's kind of like your it's kind of like a power source that comes from really deep within you. It feels like almost an ancient part of yourself. It's very intuitive, very powerful, very fierce, right? It's like your source of power, right? And it's not necessarily bad. This is the part of us that makes us stand up for ourselves. It makes us face our fears. It makes us vocalize what we want. But you're doing it in a very, whatever you're doing, you're kind of playing your cards a little bit close to your chest here. It does feel very intuitive. It does feel very almost like psychical without words, which again could be confusing this other person. Tell me about the other energy or person. What's this other situation, please, outside of Cancer? Why are they so confused? Interesting. That makes me feel like you are almost awakening this in themselves as well, just because when I combine these, so the way this looked to me was the crow is the darkness, right, of the panther, and it's like, because the crow symbolizes very similar things. It talks about old magic, it talks about intuition, it talks about communication from spirit, and for me, it's always protecting something. It's protecting something that's uniquely for you, something magical that's uniquely for you. So it's a spiritual protector in this deck. And it the black symbolically for me means like cloaking, right? Something that's hidden or part of the intuitive realm. So the cheetah for me, with it being a cat and with it being almost overlaid with this crow energy, it's telling me that this is the same energy, but it's in two parts. Does that make any sense at all? So where this feels like this energy incorporated, and this feels like this energy separated. So do you know, it's funny, the things that I was picking up on at the start of the reading are coming through on this side. So whether this is you, or whether this, you know, maybe somebody's a cross watcher, I'm a bit confused about who's who. But one of the energies definitely seems to, this seems like the energy that I was picking up on at the start of the reading, basically. And it feels like this person is perhaps confused about two different parts of themselves and how they work together. So it's like they are seeing the intuition, they are getting the communication from spirit in some sort of way with that crow energy, and yet the cheetah feels more earthbound. The cheetah feels more like the way that they're presenting in the physical environment. How do I explain this? So if this person's very busy, because it's like fire energy, if this person's always going, doing, busy, 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 and they're not sitting down and being quiet and allowing that part of their nature to speak, it's like they're ignoring spirit. It's like they're running away from spirit. You're right at the beginning of the reading, right when I started the video, I was saying it's like you're ignoring your intuition, or it's like you're trying to avoid that message that's coming through. So that's kind of how that feels to me, which is very interesting. This is fire energy, this is fire energy, this is air energy. You may have a lot of fire and air in your chart, or you may be dealing with somebody who does. Feels like avoidance, you see, because the cheetah's running away from the crow. It's like running away from their intuition, but they're running towards you. And you're walking away. It's like you're walking away and they're running after you. But in doing so, they're not listening to... It's like somebody who's just being reactive, right? They're just reacting to what you're doing. Where you're operating on a more spiritually incorporated level, or a intuitive level, or a psychic level. You're on this kind of... It's like you're on a different wavelength. Where they're really earthbound and reactive, you're listening to the energies of like the subtle realms. So the reason why they're not understanding you is because they're being too reactive, and they're not slowing down and listening to this crow part of themselves that's trying to communicate to them. That's kind of how that feels to me. Okay, tell me about this. And I don't feel like there's any, like, you know, some of you are frustrated. Some of you are like realizing that you can't make them do this. Like maybe they're not, a leopard doesn't change its spots kind of thing, but you're changing your stripes. I don't know, you're showing your something about stripes and spots. Like you're showing your stripes, they can't change their spots, they can't be like you. You're realizing this, you're walking away from them. Some of you, I feel like there's no ill will there. It's like they're your friend. You're just realizing that you operate on different wavelengths, right? It's never going to be a match. Others of you, yeah, you're a bit like, do you know what? I've told them so many times and they've made the bed, they can lie in it, right? If they're confused, then, you know, that's their lesson to learn. There is this kind of lesson that's going on, I feel, energetically at the moment. I'm seeing it with other tarot card readers as well, where it's like there's this message coming through of everybody has to look within for the answers. We're going to kind of remove the guidance. So a lot of the readers that I watch have kind of like not been posting as much. So it's like we're removing the guidance that you would normally use as a crutch in order to get you to go within and kind of really question your own intuition and your own spiritual communication with what's above. So if you find that that's happening, where the sources of wisdom, which I feel like you're very connected to your guides, right, to your spirit team, other people around you may not be, right? And again, it could be the kind of person who's always busy. They work really hard. They're not a bad person, I want to say, but like they work really hard. They go to work, they come home, they're you know, they've busy. They watch the news, they react to what they see on the news, they don't spend too much time thinking about it. So it's a very reactionary, fast-paced lifestyle that doesn't allow kind of nature or those higher energies to connect. So it's, yeah, I'm going to move on from that. I think you probably understand what I'm saying, hopefully. I don't want kind of, yeah, there's some confusion. This could be like the answer, like, no, some of you are still confused. Some of you are still going round and round in your head. It feels like you're lost in a maze. You don't know where you're going. You feel directionless. You kind of have an idea of where you want to go, but you don't know how you're going to get there. Again, go within, disconnect, go within, meditate, whatever you need to do. Have a long hot bath, listen to music. Let the answers come to you. Let the answers, because yin is a flow state. It's a receptive state. So let spirit bring the messages to you. You don't have to go out searching for them. So what's going on, please, for Cancer? Anything else for Cancer? There's that mountain again. This has come out like twice, I want to say. Once for Aries in the upright. I feel like it came through for Taurus in the reverse. So the mountain, it was coming through for Taurus like this pyramid. So this idea of it's lonely at the top, right? The higher you climb, the more, you know, not everybody can reach the top of that mountain. So this could apply in so many different ways. It could be climbing to the top of the career ladder. It could be going into further education as far as you can go, right? It's like the higher up you get, the less people are going to climb that high in many different ways. So you are trying to achieve something. Again, it's this idea of, I know where I want to go, I know what my destination is, I know what the point is, but I don't know what path to take. There is this confusion and indecision. So again, it's kind of coming through you and them. But if you know what you're going to do, right, if you have a clear idea of where you're going, and maybe you don't know the details of how you're going to get there, but if you've got a clear, if you've got your sights set on the prize, right, if you've got your sight on the peak of that mountain, at least you have an idea of which direction to go in. Yes, you may not know the exact path, but generally you're gonna make your way there. This person feels like they don't know if they even want to go up the mountain. This person's kind of like, one day they want to go up the mountain, the next day they want to do something else. So they're not gonna, where you're taking almost like slow determined steps to get there, they are going back into, right? They're running all over the place, is how that feels. They didn't get the message. Yeah, they didn't get the message. That's so funny. The rider in reverse, the rider is a messenger. You can see that they're delivering a message. So they didn't get it. They didn't get the message. It could be like the spirit was just trying to deliver them a message. It could be literal, because as I say this, just as I was about to pull that card, I saw the postman walking up and down the street with a big package in his hand. Hey yo! So it could be that you were waiting to receive, or this person was waiting to receive a message. They were waiting to receive a parcel. They were waiting for a delivery of something. It didn't come. So this has left them in a state of confusion. Maybe they didn't get the full details. It could be that they didn't get the message from spirit because they don't slow down enough to let it be delivered. Nine of Cups, they don't know how to make themselves happy in the reverse. Number one, maybe they just thinking about themselves all the time. Again, they don't feel like a bad person. They just feel very busy. I feel like they need to slow down and just sit and meditate and listen. I'm going to get the Mermaid Tarot for you. So just hold on a sec while I dig this out. So this is the deck I'm going to use for you. And we'll clarify a few things, get a few things about mood and things like that. Just noticing the numbers as well, again with the 2s for you and 1221, that kind of mirror number coming through. Watch out for if you've seen 1221 or 2112 on the clock. Spirit could be trying to communicate something to you if you see those numbers. Emotionally for Cancer, what's going on with Cancer's emotions? I'm always a bit scared to ask that. 6 of Swords. Yeah, no, you're moving on. The 6 of Swords is a card about moving on, normally from a situation that was a little bit turbulent towards calmer waters. it does feel like you are trying to take the reins in some sort of way. But I want to say also, let spirit guide you. On the chariot card, you can see this is your card in the tarot. This is why this is out. He controls destiny not through pulling tightly on the reins, but by using his they're telling me mind control powers, which I think is a joke. But he's I mean, if it's not a joke, if genuinely you're like, I have an all-powerful mind, then go ahead. But it's like it's his own willpower, right? It's his own manifestation. It's his own desire and wishes that's pushed that chariot forward. This is the meaning of why he's holding a wand and not actually holding the reins. The reins here on this card seem to be a little bit all over the place. And again, this isn't the chariot card, this is the Six of Swords, but just the imagery with the reins, it seems a little bit out of control. So he's having fun though. He's having a lot of fun doing whatever he's doing. So again, with yin being here and this being a receptive passive card, it seems like you're being encouraged to allow things to flow to you and not try to control things too much. Again, the Six of Swords is a card about walking away or moving away from something towards calmer waters. And you have walking away here and a change in the wind. So you're definitely on the move in some sort of way. You may be getting a car. You may be traveling across water. What's going on in Cancer's all-powerful mind? Conflict. So perhaps you're trying to avoid conflict, or you're thinking about some arguments or some differences of opinion or some harsh words that have been spoken. You may be worried about having harsh words with somebody, or worried about a conflict as you try and move away, right? You're worried that people are going to argue about this. You could be thinking about an argument that's already happened. Penguins could be symbolic for you. Seals could be symbolic for you. But you can see here this person's hurt themselves. They were a bit reckless, playing with something that they shouldn't have been playing with. They've hurt themselves. But they've got this little penguin friend who's kind of comforting them. So normally the Six of Swords comes after the Five of Swords. So normally emotionally you're moving on before you're mentally moving on. It's like mentally you're still in the conflict, but emotionally, like you already know that you've got one foot out of the door, whatever that is. It may be kind of like one of those situations where even as you move on, right, even as you allow this change to happen, and it does feel passive, again, it's like the change is happening because it's happening. It doesn't feel like it's an active thing that you're bringing about, but it feels like you're rolling with it. So again, do take that as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. It feels like one of those situations where, you know, you are moving on, right? You are going with the flow. You are closing this situation out and kind of moving towards the next. Emotionally, you're already kind of doing that. But it's like, even as we do that, even as we leave something behind, we still mentally go over it a little bit. That siren's very loud and obnoxious. Again, the siren could be significant. Anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading, like how I noticed the postman before the messenger card came out. So it's like it lingers on, right? Especially if we've had harsh words with somebody that we really care about, or if it's, you know, that conflict that we've been engaged in, you know, has been really hurtful. It does linger on our minds. It does play on our minds long after it's happened. So that's kind of could be what's happening there. What's going on physically then? Knight of Cups is kind of on the side. So the Knight of Cups expresses feelings. So I do feel like you could be expressing your feelings to somebody. Now this could be romantic feelings, you know, an offer of friendship, an offer of support. In the reverse, it could be a withdrawal or a holding back of that. It's kind of on its side. So with him looking into the cup, it's almost like he's looking into a mirror. So I feel like you're being nice to yourself, Cancer. I feel like you're saying nice things to yourself. Perhaps the things that you wish this person would have said to you, or perhaps you know, being your own best friend, and being kind to yourself, you know, saying, instead of kind of beating yourself up over things, actually talking to yourself like you would talk to somebody that you really care about, because you are good at that, right? You are good at comforting people and supporting people and showing people how much you love them. Again, depending on your Venus placement and your Mercury placement, some of you may be better at this than others, but generally Cancerian energy is such a good friend, or such a good sister, they're telling me, or such a good like like a good supportive person to those that you love. So, you know, give that love to yourself, do a little bit of self-care. And it could be that you're wanting to express feelings, and these could be, you know, I love you. It could be, listen, I care about you, but I need to do this. Expressing whatever it is that you're feeling. And what you're feeling is that you need to move on. So expressing that, but having some hesitancy, I want to say about that. Ten of Pentacles, there could definitely be family involved. It could be a workplace as well. Just deciding which deck to use for this person. I'm feeling Gilded Tarot. I was kind of torn between Steampunk and Gilded, but no, they're showing me a specific card from the Witch's Tarot. Let's go Witch's Tarot. They're showing me the Page of Wands, so it'd be interesting if that comes out or not. Sometimes that's what I get. If like my spirit guides want me to use a certain deck, they'll show me a certain card from that deck. So I misunderstood which image they were showing me. I thought it was from that deck, and it's not. It's from this deck. They want to shout something from the rooftops, I feel. Okay, this person, what's going on in their heart space? What's going on for them emotionally? Again, this could be a situation. It doesn't have to be a specific person. What's going on emotionally with this person? Yeah, there's that conflict, that Five of Swords. This is this card. They can't push. It's like the thoughts are in the way of their emotions, and they can't push past it. They have made a decision. They are waiting for something. They could be waiting for an offer from this King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is somebody who's like a father, a boss. It's kind of the person who deals with like the money or the assets. It's the breadwinner. It can be a husband. It can be a father. It can be a partner. Doesn't have to be a man. But it's like it could be this is them. This could be saying this is who this is. It could be a Taurus. Doesn't have to be. They're telling me Capricorn, doesn't have to be. It could be that this person's made a decision. So they're showing us indecisive, but this is saying that they have actually made a decision. However, their decision seems to be blocked. There seems to be something going on with the thoughts where they can't take the next step. They feel like, again, it's got that feeling of somebody who knows where they want to go, but they don't see how to get there. It's like there's no clear path for them, or their path is blocked. And it could even be that if this isn't their own thoughts blocking them, it could be there's literal conflict. Like other people don't understand what this person wants to do, or this other people who are not being supportive for what this person wants to do. Again, this could be a father. This can indicate children. It can also indicate soulmate energy. This person may feel like you are one of their soulmates, whether that is romantic or friendship, or again sibling. They do feel like, I want to say they do feel like a very strong connection here. Yeah, a huge amount of love, deep love, deep feelings. Actually very honest with themselves about what they feel and wanting to express it quite openly. And yet they're in this grief energy, this energy of loss, this energy of things that couldn't happen. So it does feel like there could be circumstances outside of this person's control. Again, it could even be a father who says like, no, you're not doing what you want to do. But again, it's like, as much as they want to, I do feel like they have decided to come with you because they're facing towards you. They have hold of this decision. Yet in front of them, between you, is this conflict, or this fear of conflict. Yeah, this person, I don't think they're indecisive so much as confused and conflicted. It's like they know what they want. They're very clear. Like their emotions are very stable there. This can also indicate like a wife, a mother, somebody who's a provider and nurturer. So they could be either of these two energies, or again, this could be a group of people and these two people are in it. This is your energy. It's interesting because I was really tempted to get the Queen of Cups out for you rather than the Chariot. I was kind of pulled to that more. And now it's come out over here for this person. And I did say that this felt like it could be you. Again, you could have it. This could be you and your partner, or you and your parents, right? because parent, children. But there's some loss or disappointment here. There's something that didn't work out emotionally that this person's trying to process. And again, it feels like it has that feeling of like that they can't come with you. Their path's blocked, or they just don't see the route. Again, with this card here, it's like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get there. What's going on in their thoughts? There's a lot going on emotionally from that person. There's a lot going on there. So I want to say the thoughts are clear. Yeah, they're not indecisive. Oh yeah, very clear. They don't feel like they're indecisive. When I'm actually looking into the feelings and the thoughts, it may look to you like they're being indecisive. They seem to me to be very, very clear, and they want to communicate this as well. The King of Swords is almost sharp communication, like mental clarity, logical, a little bit cold. Like, it feels like this person is quite matter of fact. They're quite clear cut, they're quite matter of fact. They've really, really got things figured out. If they've got the King of Swords in the thoughts, they really know, like, the thoughts are clear. Their emotions seem more difficult. And what's their action space? Their action space. So how are they actually showing up though? This is the thing. They're showing up like the Queen of Wands. Look at all these people. They've got the Queen of Wands, the King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. It's like they're trying to be all things to all people. I feel like they could be pulled in a lot of different directions. Queen of Wands, mentally, they know what they want. Really clear about it. Queen of Wands, they're going to take action. They're going to move towards what they want. They're going to do it confidently. They're not going to second guess themselves. They're showing up as confident, gorgeous, magnetic, fun, passionate, doing what they want to do. Thoughts are clear. Actions are clear. Emotions... It's not even that they're emotionally blocked, because they've got the Queen of Cups there, which is whatever they're feeling it fully, and they understand why they're feeling it, and they're okay with it. Very, very practical. Feels like they could have children. Yeah, they are decisive. They have made a decision. But there's this Five of Swords here, which you have in your thoughts as well. You know, whatever this is, you know it. I don't know if you've had an argument with this person, or if there's other people around you who you've got conflict with. Again, it's like this idea of like, I know where I want to go, I just can't get there, or I don't know how to get there. How do I... Feeling archetypes. I want to know what that Five of Swords is, what that conflict is. Can you explain the Five of Swords to me, please? The Five of Swords. The shadow. So again, it could be this person's self-doubt or not listening to their own shadow. The one. The one and the shadow. This person could be very black and white. The underworld. So this feels like, because this is conflict with the shadow, the underworld, I feel like I was saying something at some point about this person, like how you fully integrated your shadow. It's like you're very comfortable navigating your own shadow self, or your own hidden self, like those older parts of our nature, right? We know, it feels like you know how to use them. You know how to use them in a positive way. This person feels like they're almost running away from their own shadow, like not doing the shadow work, not incorporating it. And yet they're showing up with all this King and Queen energy. It's almost like they are an emperor or an empress in the making, right? They've got all the suits. They've got all, right? Yeah, this feels like emperor, empress in the making. Because they've got one of each. They've got a king or a queen from each of the 4 suits. And to be an emperor, you have to be all 4 kings. To be an empress, you have to be all 4 queens. So this feels like somebody who's at emperor, empress level, right? They you know, they've got their actions in the action space, they've got the thoughts in the thoughts, they've got the emotions in the emotions. This is a really nurturing energy as well. It's like they're coming across as very well balanced on the whole. So why are they running away from their intuition? This seems to be where the conflict is. It could be like, I know you're the one, right? I know you're the one. But I don't want to go into the underground. I don't want to do the I don't want to explore those deeper parts of myself. I don't want to admit that those darker parts of myself exist. That kind of thing. Okay, let's get you some advice. Who's going to have the good advice for you? Let's go. What do I want to go for? Let's go, because these 2 decks have been a little bit dark, and I feel like we need to explore that darker territory right now. Yeah, look at that, the curse on the underlying. Advice, please. Sorry, I'm a little bit burpy. I'm so sorry. I had McDonald's. It's repeating on me. That's my dark side. Spending money on McDonald's when I probably shouldn't. Okay, eating junk food. I eat quite healthily most of the time, but it was my son's last day of school today, last day of junior school, so I wanted to get McDonald's to kind of celebrate, and he was a little bit sad, you know, saying goodbye to some of his friends who are going off to different schools, and, you know, I think it had been a really emotional day for them all, so I was like, I gave McDonald's as a treat to cheer him up. Okay. I can hear a crow. I can hear a crow crowing outside. I don't know if you guys can pick it up on the recording. It's like intuition is trying to tell you something. Advice. Advice for anyone watching this reading. Advice, please. Advice. Can we get some advice, please? Someone might have a motorbike. Wear your helmet, they're telling me. Wear your helmet. Is there any advice from this deck? Okay. The Witness and Water. Oh, interesting. Okay, just looking for the book. Do you watch out for mirror numbers? There seems to be something about mirroring. The Witness. The witness observes without engaging in any action. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions, which feels like crow energy. When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, then we are able to truly hear them and give better advice. So there's, again, that thing about slowing down, because like they're showing us the cheetah and the Queen of Wands. That's very fast, very bold, very active movement. And the crow feels more like intuition, and it feels like more like the Queen of Cups energy, right? The water energy. So it's like this person I feel needs to slow down, open up and listen. When we can be present for somebody else's difficulties with stillness, we are able to truly hear them and give better advice. Sometimes we can be so still that we are a mirror for the other. That's so funny, because that's what I was saying there, right? It could be the like 2 halves of yourself, right? Your light and your shadow. Then through our own presence, they receive their own answers. That's what he said. Look within for the answers. The witness that has been by your side all along is now ready to become your ally. You thought you were the doer, but today you discover that things happen when you get out of the way. That's what he said here about being in yin energy and letting go of the reins and stop trying to control situations. Witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. Acknowledge your preconceptions, ideas, and feelings about the situation you are in, but resist the urge to change any of it. Do not fall back into your controlling patterns, Cancer. You know you have them sometimes. Instead, take a few breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform. Hold space for the world to keep spinning on its own. Be in yin energy. That is coming through so strongly. Be in flow. Let go of any need to kind of like take control of the reins or control a situation. It's like, let the universe take the reins. Like, let Jesus take the wheel, okay? Again, I don't know what your belief system is. It's a meme. It makes me laugh because my daughter, when she was trying to ride a bike, she talks in memes quite a lot. I can see that crow now is on the chimney across from me, and she was going up this path, and she's quite clumsy, and she went really wobbly and was like falling into like the bushes at the side of the path. And as she did so, she went, "Jesus, take the wheel." like spirit was just suddenly gonna like steer the bike for her. It just really made me laugh. It's kind of always stuck with me. Okay, water again. Intuitive, emotional, psychic realm that you're so good at, Cancer. Water symbolizes purification, regeneration, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from the former self to the new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood and the new life that's revealed after a deluge. Water begins without boundaries. Then, as soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time and life, thus acquiring limitations. When water arrives, you're invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable, and do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel it fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. This is very much Queen of Cups energy. She's good at this, and this is your card. Allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust that you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. You've got so much stuff about being in flow. There is a time for cleansing unwanted energy and sticky feelings. Consider this. What water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to the spirit. The spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creation takes place. Now is also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung, oh my God, we're talking about all this shadow stuff, right? If you don't know what shadow work is, and Carl Jung and the Golden Shadow, go and Google it, because that's coming out so strong. You've literally got the shadow. Carl Jung talked about the maternal, womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol. Water represents the potentiality of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation. Emergence from it is manifestation. Immersion in it is dissolution of form. Because of this, it symbolizes regeneration. Make way for the process. Make way, make way. I don't know why it came out with Moana. Again, they're showing me the tattoos. So somebody may have like Maui tattoos. Make way for the process. You can expect it to be messy, but it's worth it. I'm going to leave it there because it feels like that's a good stopping point. But I hope that was really helpful to you. So yeah, do the shadow work. If you're already doing it and you're doing really well, that's great. Those of you who need to kind of witness yourself a little bit more, and not be reactive, but sit there and say, why am I reacting this way? Why am I feeling this? Don't try and suppress any feelings. Make sure you allow them to come to the surface, and really be your own witness, like this guy in this looking in the mirror, right? Like, witness yourself, witness your feelings, acknowledge them, allow them, and speak to yourself like kindly, like you'd speak to a friend. And yeah, just allow, right? If you're feeling grief, because we saw that 5 of Cups, feel grief, right? Let it flow through you, let it pass, right? Don't fight it, because sometimes when we fight it, it kind of makes those emotions stronger. This showing me the symbology of water building behind a floodgate. It's like the pressure builds, right? So, but if you kind of open the floodgate, you can kind of open those little flaps, right, on a dam, and let some of that water trickle through and control. Again, that thing about releasing control. You don't want to kind of open the floodgates, right? But if you want to like stop trying to hold it back and open the floodgates enough so that that water can start to flow through naturally, eventually you can open those gates and the water's going to have a natural flow. It's only by resisting that we create the floodlands and the buildup of pressure. I hope that's helpful to you. With that, I'm going to close out the reading. Do go and check out that description box down below where you'll find some songs that I randomise on Spotify as I'm kind of uploading the reading. I can't do it now on my phone because my phone's derping on Spotify a little bit. It works on my PC but not on my phone. Yeah, so check out the description box and leave me a like if you like. And yeah, check out your other placements if you feel the need to do so. Hope the reading was helpful for you, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.